ICRT.
Hi, I'm Joey. Yes, once again, here we are connecting with one of our favorite artists from all the way around the world. And today it's all the way around the world. She's almost exactly 12 hours away from us. She's in Nashville right now. It's Sasha Sloan. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, very well. We are going to talk about this new album, Only Child. And just in case there's any lingering doubts for fans out there, Sasha is an only child.
Yeah.
And let's start the conversation there, actually. I mean, I'm an only child too. And in your opinion, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of an only child?
Advantage, you get all the attention.
Yep,
You don't have to share,
that's right.
which is also a disadvantage because you have to figure out how to do that later in life. I don't know. What do you think? I think maybe a disadvantage is not having people to commiserate when your parents are being maybe a little out of their minds. Mine.
Yeah.
No one to fight with. I really envy people who have like siblings and missing, like my best friend had a sister in high school and she would always pick her up and I was like, that's so cool. And like my mom would pick me up and I'd be like, that's so lame. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right about no one to fight with, no one to pull your hair, no one to push you into dangerous things. You know,
Yep.
we're missing out.
I guess maybe it's a good thing.
But let's first address the big purple elephant in the room. Your first studio album, I'm sure you had a lot of beautiful things planned for it, and then COVID-19. So how did you poise yourself after that?
Yeah, so I live with my producer because we're dating, which is super cringy. And I was like, I'm never going to date a producer. And here we are.
No, but that's so convenient now, isn't it? That your creative partner.
It honestly, this year, it was like a dream come true. So yeah, it was definitely not how I envisioned making my debut album.
Yeah.
Because it was all from my living room, basically. But it was cool because it kind of forced me to live in my own bubble, which, when you're creating something, it comes with this element of fear where you go, is what I'm creating total shite? And then you're just worried about that the whole time. And you go around showing people and everyone has different taste and has different opinions, and it makes you start to question your own taste.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that this time around just because I didn't even really get to. It was like the amount of people I showed the album to before it came out was I could count on one hand. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it is weird having it be out in the world and like not being able to tour and not seeing anyone but my boyfriend and my dog.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like it's out.
In a way, at least for the fans, we kind of appreciate it because we get the truest side of you. And big thanks, of course, to King Henry, for making this happen and to be your echo chamber and bounce ideas off.
He's a trooper.
He is a trooper, isn't it? I'm sure there are nights when you are up and you can't sleep and he has to deal with the voices inside your head.
He hears them loud and clear.
Oh, gosh. I checked Spotify and you have this very interesting way to promote Only Child, which is you basically go through a personality test of, I think, 4 or 3 simple questions. And most of them are, of course, references to songs you've written, right? And once you've answered all of them, then it gives you sort of a label, like what kind of only child or what kind of sad girl you are. So, Sasha, I took your sad girl test.
Oh, I'm very curious.
I'm an emo only child.
Was it right?
Yeah, I'm an emo only child. That's why I like your music, darn it. But how would you answer these questions? Okay, so let me ask you these questions here right now. Where do you most like to cry? In the rain, so nobody can see my tears, or I'm too sad to cry?
I'm too sad to cry.
I thought so. You did write a song about that, didn't you? Who are you more likely to take a call from? Your mom or your ex?
Definitely my mom.
Yeah. Yeah, that second option was strange to me. I thought, why would I take a call from my ex over my mom?
The the thought behind that was, what if you're still hung up on your ex?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which I guess you're not.
No, I'm married now, so I don't even have that option.
Well, there you
go. Last one. What do you go to greater lengths to avoid? Mirrors or parties?
I mean, currently parties.
Well, yeah. Or parties that have too many people.
Definitely parties. Yeah, that's my biggest fear currently.
I figured. All right. Let me recite a line of your lyrics of my favorite 2 songs, and I want you to tell me more about it. Okay.
Okay.
So this first one is it goes, "The second that you called me yours, I had something worth living for. Now I'm scared of planes and heart attacks. If I die, I'll never get you back." What song is this, and how did you write it?
This song is called Hypochondriac.
Yeah.
And it was actually the first song I wrote for the album.
Oh, is that right?
Right. Yeah, and it was actually pre-quarantine, pre-COVID, which is pretty funny.
That's like 2019.
At least for the US, it was in February of 2020.
Okay.
And yeah, my boyfriend and I sat down and I was like, I have this idea called Hypochondriac, because this is true. I mean, now I'm like a total hypochondriac. Like, I'm next level now. Yeah, like, wear gloves when I pump gas and stuff. But yeah, it was funny because when I first met my boyfriend, I smoked a lot. I drank a lot. I just treated my body like crap. And I didn't really care. I was like 21. I was like, whatever. And then the deeper I fell in love with my boyfriend, the more I started to care about my life and being alive. And I became a hypochondriac. And that's what it was inspired about. And I am a hypochondriac now. Like, I'm literally going to see a doctor tomorrow just because I think there's something wrong with me, but there never is. Thank God.
I think better safe than sorry, right? Just want to be sure.
Every time I go, the doctor's like, well, you probably should get on anxiety medication. And I'm like, no, it's okay.
So you're a hypochondriac who resists
help.
Yeah, yes. Help. Exactly.
Good times.
Okay. Next one. This goes, "I want to live in a world where things I believed as a kid actually exist and everybody's good to each other." Which song is this? And I want to hear about the creative process.
The song is called Santa's Real. This is like the first song I ever wrote that wasn't about me. It was more about the world. And I think it took a pandemic for me to actually think about something bigger than the bubble I live in. And it was the first time masks were required.
Okay.
Here. And I remember my boyfriend and I were at the grocery store and everyone had masks on. And I was like, this is kind of spooky. And then I saw these kids running around wearing masks. But it was like, they didn't know why they had to wear them. And they were just playing and having fun.
Yep.
And I looked at my boyfriend, I was like, man, it would be really cool to be a kid right now, where you like have parents and you're protected and you know, things are like weird, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
And so that's how I wrote Santa's Real. And I do wish he was real. That would be pretty nice.
But I love this song because it tells us so much of the fairy tales that we grew up with, including Santa, but mostly about how people are supposed to be nice to each other. And then you grow up and you think, oh no, that's not the way it is. And you have to juggle that balance of reality and the fairy tale you're fed as a child.
No, reality is not fun.
Yeah, it's not. You said some pretty profound stuff, Sasha, in this album, and of course, the song that "Is It Just Me," it does cover a lot of the profound stuff. And I was reading some of your interviews, and because of you, I started reading Unpopular Opinion. By the way, thank you for that.
I love Reddit so much. Like, every night before I go to bed, I should read a book, but I just cruise Reddit until I fall asleep. And I wrote down the idea Unpopular Opinion as like a title or a lyric or something. And then it's like the lyrics slowly morphed from Unpopular Opinion to Is It Just Me? And yeah, it was a really fun one to write. It was really hard, actually. Those lyrics were like finding the balance of like fun and dark and not crossing a line and not crossing a line. It was It's fun.
But you did cross the line when you said the show Friends is overrated, because I heard you got some backlash for that, didn't you?
Apparently, like that's the most controversial thing you can ever say. I yeah, I didn't see that one coming. People really love Friends.
They did. And the thing is, I had to reflect on that show recently, and if you really look back at it, they're terrible friends to each other. Like, this show is not setting a good role model for anybody.
I also like whatever. I grew up watching Seinfeld. That's more my cup of tea, like Curb and that type of humor. So, but like I do love The Office, and if someone attacked The Office, I would be really offended. So I understand where people are coming from.
Well, whatever the case it is, people are only triggered because they're actually listening to your music, and I'm sure it's because they love you. So don't forget, everyone, Only Child is out, and Christmas is almost near. So before we go, do you want to say Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to all of your fans and listeners here in Taiwan?
Yes. Happy Christmas. I hope you guys have an awesome and safe one. Thank you so much for listening to my music. It means the world, and I wouldn't be able to get to do what I do without you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Bye.
Thanks. Nice to meet you. Bye.